quadratic equation. Your job is to find two values of x for which it says correct at one decimal place, usually an indication that you're definitely going to need the minus b formula. So my a value is 3, my b value is minus 6, my minus b value is plus 6, and my c value is minus 8. Then we're going to do minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Has anybody got an answer for this already? Okay. So you put into the b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times 3. Anybody got two answers for this? Sean? 2.9 and minus 0.9. Is that okay with you guys? Okay, just put it into your calculator, should work out. Okay, let's go on to the question that has a bit of skill to it. Okay, find the coordinates of the minimum point of the function. Minimum would mean it's a U-shaped function. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a minimum, there'd be a maximum. What's the rule for a minimum? The slope is what? Because it's going directly across, right? So slope is 0. In calculus, what is the slope? First derivative. So let's find the first derivative. Now it also says find coordinates. That means it wants an x value and a y value. So let's differentiate it. How do you differentiate 3x squared? And differentiate minus 6x. And differentiate a. Minus 8 disappears. And then you're equal to 0. You're going to find your x value right away. So what happens when you move it over? 6 equals 1, right? So there's your x value. Your x value is 1. How do you find your y value? The original equation, because f of x actually stands for y. Where 6 times 1. Yep. What you get for that? 3 take away 6 take away 8. 3 take away 14 is minus 11. So I'm thinking I'm getting 1 minus 11 for that. Okay, up. Okay. Salesman earns a basic salary of €150 per week. In addition, gets commission of 20% on sales up to the value of €1,000 and 30% above anything. Okay. Find his income for a week when his sales amounted to £3,000. Now let's break up the sales. What can we break up the sales into? We can break the sales into the first 1,000. And how much does he get the first 1,000 at? Okay. How much does he get the next 2,000 at? 30%. And how much does he get paid anyway, even if none of that happens? So does everybody see that? So 150 plus 20% of 1,000. So it's going to be 150 plus 200. And then 30% of 2,000 would be 600. You add them all up together, and I think we're going to get 950 quid. Okay. Happy 950? Okay. Now, sorry, part B. Now, on a different week, he earns more money. More money means more sales. Does that make sense? So if you did 3,000 sales in the last question, I think we're all estimating a sales answer above. Would you all agree with a sales answer above €3,000? Does that make sense? Does it make more money? Okay, so here's the way I'm going to do this. I still think it's going to be 150. Agreed? I still think he's going to make 200 from the first €1,000 sales. So is everybody happy that this is from the €200 is from his first €1,000 of sales? When we add the two of them together, we're going to get €350. Anything he made above this was at the rate of 30%. You get So anything he made above this was 30%. So we get 1160 and we take away 350. Okay, this is how much extra money he made. But this money, however, was calculated. This money is actually 810 is actually 30% of his sales. That's how he got that money. So what do we need to calculate now? What 100% would be. So how do we do that? We can divide by 3 to find out 10%. So we get 810 and divided by 3. I think it's 270. Yeah, it is 270. Okay. And then we're going to multiply by 10 to send it back to 100%. Would everybody be happy with 2,700? Now, was there 2,700 in total for the sales, or was it something else? Remember, the last question he did 3,000 euros in sales. What do we think? It's 3,700. Why? You have to add your 1,000 here and your 2,700 here to get a grand total of 3,700. Go. All right. Now, let's go next question. Question 7. So we've done 3, 6. Now we're on to 7. Draw the next pattern. Okay. How many tiles in total? 5 tiles in total. The next one is 8 tiles in total. The next one is 11 tiles in total. Now, do you notice what's happening with the main diagonal here? It goes 3, 4, 5. What's going to be the next one? 6. We're going to go 6 across. 6. Okay, this is 1 down. The next one's 2 down. The one after that is 3 down. So we're going to go 4 down. An extra 4 down. I think we're expecting 14, aren't we? Why are we expecting 14? It's going up in 3s, isn't it? Just double count that. 4, 4, 8, 8 and 6, 14. Go with that? Okay. Now, based on the pattern shown, complete the table below. Happy days, we already did that. Lads, all the way to question C is handy. All the way up to C part 1 is handy. You'll pass the question out. What type of pattern is this out of interest? It's a linear. Anybody know where to find the linear equations in your tables? The Tn form. Anybody know where to find that? You open up your page and it says sequences and series, and you'll find it there. So here's the formula for you, right? It's Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D. Now you need to know 2 things. You need to know A and you need to know D. Any ideas how to get it? D is 3 and A is? Yeah, D is 3 and A is 5. Because A is your first one. So let's just put them in here and we get 5 plus n minus 1 times 3, is it? And multiplying the 3. 5 plus 3n minus 3. And what do we get? 2 plus 3n? Or you could rewrite it as 3n plus 2. Have I obtained full marks by the description of the question? Reread it. Read the very last line. P equals 3, Q equals 2. I'd probably really have to spell it out for them. Is that okay with you guys? What do you mean? I did the Tn formula. And then P is Pn, so whatever comes in front of n is P, and whatever is left over is Q. Well, it could be any letter. It's not specific. All good. Okay. Now, keep going. How many tiles are in the 20th pattern? What do we say it was again? 3n plus 2? Okay, how do I do that? Yeah, it's T20, isn't it? 3 times 20 plus 2, 62. It's handy. Is it looking for T290 or Tn equals 290? Yeah, if it says which pattern, it's looking for which n value. Because n equals 1 is the first pattern and n equals 2 is the second pattern. So we're going to put our formula equal to 290. We're going to bring it over to 2 and take it away. We're going to divide that by 3. Thank you. It was 288 divided by 3. I had a loading error, so there we go. We all good? Okay. Now, we're going on to, the SN formula. Show that the SN formula is this. Once again, you go to your tables and you go SN equals what? N over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. We've already agreed that d is 3, and we already agreed that a is 5. So we're going to get 2 times 5, and we're going to get 3 for d. So it's going to be Sn equals n over 2. It's going to be 10. It's going to be 3n minus 3. And then we're going to get n over 2 into 3n plus 7. Does my answer look like their answer? What's the difference? Yeah, I'm going to show you a quick trick that you might not be aware of. You ready for this? If I have a fraction on the outside like a half, sorry, like imagine 7 over 2, and I wanted to multiply 7 over 2 by, for argument's sake, 5 plus 1. Is that okay? 7 over 2 times 5 plus 1? It's actually 7 over 2 times 6, which is 42 over 2, which is 21. But look what I can do instead. I can just multiply the 7 by the 5 and the 1, and I can get 35 plus 7, yeah? And I can just slot the 2 underneath like that, and it'll still be 42 over 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the n and multiply it in, and I'm going to slot the 2 underneath. So what happens now? 3n squared plus 7n over 2, which is what we were asked to do. Is that right? Good. All right. There must be a D part 2 now, is there? Now, if you wanted to check your answer, not that you need to because it's a proved question, but what could you do if you wanted to check everything? Menu, table function, slot it all in, right? I anticipate we're going to need this in the next question anyway. Okay. Start at 1, I'll finish at 20. Step of 1. Now guys, see these numbers I'm getting here? 5, what numbers am I getting? 5, 13, 24, and 38, yeah? So I'll show you what they mean now. You're looking? 5 is, S1 is 5. S2 is, anybody? It was 13, because 5 plus 8 is, and S3 is 5 plus 8 plus 11, which is, and I know that I have this entered in correctly, don't I? Because the numbers are matching up with the sequence. Now, if I go to the D part, here we go. Find the total number of tiles needed to build the first 30 patterns. That's a handy one, right? So all you have to do is S30. Anywhere you see N, replace it with 30. So what did we say it was again? 3n squared, was it, plus 7n? Yeah, so I'm going to replace all the n's with 30s. And what do we get there? I can always use my table function and just redo the limits. Nope. Yeah. So 20th pattern would have 610 and work out my all the way down to the 30th pattern as 1,455. We all cool? Okay. So anything after that? Nope, that's it. Okay. Actually. Okay. Company makes and sells fiber optic cable. At most, it can sell 200 kilometers of cable. Okay, so that's where this X has to be less than 200 comes from. You cannot sell more than 200 kilometers of cable. For certain ranges, production companies found can be modeled using this function. Use the profit function to find how much money the company loses if it does not sell any cable. Well, if you don't sell any cable, it means X is 0. Replace all X values with 0, and you'll find out that you'll lose 2,000 euros. That kill you guys? Now, next one. In a particular week, the company made a profit of 8,350. Find the number of kilometers of cable that sold that week. We have two methods for this. You ready for the first method? First method is using the table function itself. Okay. And for argument's sake, I'm just going to put in this formula here. Okay. It goes all the way to 200, doesn't it? Would you agree with that? I'm going to start off with 0. I'm going to end at 200. I'm going to go up in tens. Do you see that? And I'm looking for 8,350. What X value causes it to go to 8,350? Unfortunately for me, what happened? It went from 7,400 straight to 9,250. That means my answer is located somewhere between 40 and 50. Does that make sense? You're going to go back again. What you going to do now? Start at 40, end at, go in a step of 1. And we're just going to have another fine look. There it is there, 45. Kill with that? 45? 8,350. Now, how would you dress that up to look like you made an effort? What would you do? You'd say P44, or sorry, you'd say P40. Any number you want that's not 45, but is pretty close to 45. Do you get what I'm saying? What you're doing is you're giving the illusion that you did trial and error, like this, and then you're just going to say, oh, I tried 40, and the answer was 7,400. And then you go, oh, then I tried 45, and when I tried 45, all of a sudden I figured out that the answer was 8,350. Is that okay with you guys? That's one way of doing it. Does anybody know the second way of doing it? Anybody know the real exact way of doing it? How do you calculate your profit again? With this function here, right? Everybody see what I'm boxing off up here on the top? Everybody see that function? That is the function, okay? And in this function, we got to give, the answer is 8,350. So 275x minus x squared minus 2,000. Whatever the x value is, we know it's 45. But whatever the x value is, it has to give me an answer of 8,350. Guess what I'm going to do now? Move it all to one side. I'm going to get x squared. I'm going to get 0 equals x squared. I'm going to get minus 275x. And then I'm going to add on 2,000 to get 10,350. Ever see that? Cool. Now, what's going to happen is you're then going to put the equal to 0 over the other side. And what type of formula is this now? It's a minus b. A is 1, b is minus 275, minus B is 275 and C is 10,350. And when you do the minus B formula, what answer are you going to get? What answer did we get earlier? One of the answers is going to be 45. The other answer might be a negative number, which can't happen. So you're just going to get an X value of 45 that way as well. Okay, do you want me to have a quick look at the marking scheme? So looking at the market scheme, trial and error is worth full marks these days. So happy days. The first method, remember using the table function? First method would get you full marks. You're delighted, Luke, are you? Okay, let's keep going. All right. I need my table function anyway, and I have to go from 50 up to 100, and we're going to fill in the numbers now, okay? So you get your table function, you enter in the formula, you start at 50, go up to 100, and you go in steps 10. And long behold, we have these numbers here. So what's it? 9,250, 10,900. They're very nice. They tell me what 70 is. So if I've entered in my calculator correctly, it has to match up. Then 80, 13,600. 90 is 14,650. And finally, last one is 15,500. I have to draw this now. Okay, 50, 9,250. What's this going up in, lads, you reckon? 2 blocks is worth 1,000, isn't it? So there we agree that it's gone up in 500s. Yeah. So this mark here be 9,500. This mark up here be 12,500. My first one is 9,250. That's halfway between 9,000 and 9,500. So I'm right there. Okay, let's go for the next one. 10,900. Just below 11 grand. So I'm about here. Next one after that, 12,350. Just below 12,500. So around here. 13,600. Just above 13,500. And finally, 14,600. Just above 14,500. And 15,500, which I can get pretty exact. Okay, it's not a straight line, it's going to be a curve. There you go. Cool. Okay. Look later. Use your graph to estimate the lower and upper range of sales in cable in order to make a profit between 10,000 and 14,000. Okay. Where do you think 10,000 is at? Anybody? 10,000 is? What do you reckon? And 14,000 in a second. 82, 84ish. Now, once again, I have the ability to really zone in on this if I'm bothered. 80 to 90, step of one. I'm going to see when it crosses 14 grand. The answer is 84. So I think I'm slightly off with my drawing at the top. Okay, so I just might go 84, right? And the other one, it was in between 50 and 60, wasn't it? Go again. Stop it. 50, 60, step of one. Pretty happy with 55. So 55 and 84 would be the answer. So I think I just went slightly pear-shaped on my drawing up the top. Okay. You're allowed a margin. Technically I got 83, but you know the answer is 84. Okay with that? Okay. Now, Use the rate to find the number of kilometers of cable sold when the profit is increasing at the rate of 225. You ever see the word increasing? Increasing means slope. It means your slope is going up. It's basically telling you that your slope is 105. Number of kilometers is the x value if you read the description of the question. So you need to find an x value when your slope is 105. Okay, what's the original formula again? Anybody? The original formula? Yes. Okay. And now, how'd you get slope? What is, we said it earlier, slope is the first. Slope is the first derivative, so it's 225 minus, and your slope is actually 105. Swing over to 275x, and what do we get? Divided by minus 2, 85. 85 kilometers of cable will have you there. Cool, this is our part A. That's it. Happy days.